Hello, welcome once again. Today we're going to be looking at an ignition switch and fuses, and also the ignition switch is ganged 4 times. In between here and here, you see this dotted line going here, dotted line going here, dotted line going here. 1, 2, 3, 4. That means that whenever this one moves, this one also moves. If this one moves in one position from lock to off, this one moves from one position from lock to off. This one also moves from one position from lock to off. This one also moves from lock to off, and so on and so on. If this moves to the run position, this also moves to the run position, this one and this one, all together at the same time, simultaneously. That's why you see this dotted line. So, in the run position, let's say where your instrument panel comes on, but the engine doesn't crank. When we put it in the run position for this specific part of the ignition switch, there is no connection here. There's only a connection in the start position. For this one, as you can see, it's in the run position. There is a connection either here or here. When this moves in this run position, it is making contact to whatever is connected here, in this case cluster fuse. So in the run position or in the start position, you will have a connection, whereas this one only in the start position. Now in this one, again, in the run position or the accessories position, you're going to have wherever this goes to the relay, and in this one only in the run position. So confusing, but you really don't need so many different switches activated at the same time. So like we said, cluster fuse, this probably goes to the cluster fuse for the instrument panel. You would be looking at this part over here, this part of the switch, making sure that when you are in the run position in this one, or the start position obviously, you should have 12 volts going to the cluster fuse. Now, I wanted to mention something. 12 volts is always over here after the fuse. I want to make sure that this ignition switch is working correctly. So I don't have to take apart the ignition switch. Always find a point on the same line that it connects to and go to that point that's more easy access. For example, last time we talked about this, a park neutral switch. How can I get to the park neutral switch and make sure it's activated correctly? Is the fuse or the automatic transmission? This is manual transmission, so we're going down the pink one. As you can see in this position, it goes to, if you follow it, it goes to a fuse. I can find the fuse, which is easy access, and make sure I have 12 volts. That will tell me that this switch is activated and working. In the other position, in this position, when this goes in this position, that means this is also in this position. So in other words, when I toggle this, or when you put the park neutral switch position is in either park or neutral, this one will be to the gray wire, this one will be to the light green wire. Follow the light green wire and it goes to a fuse. Therefore, we can measure the point at the fuse of this one, STS fuse 10 amps, to see if we have 12 volts over here without taking apart the park neutral switch, which is usually in the transmission. So therefore, we find an easy access point to where it is already connected to. The fuse is always easy. That's always under the hood, and it's right in front of you when you just lift up the fuse cover. That's the easiest points to get to. So get used to, if I can't go over here, where is it connected to? Boom, a fuse, good. I can measure over there. If I have 12 volts over here, I know this is working. If I have 12 volts over here, I know this is working. That was my point that I wanted to make out over here. It's hard to get to the ignition switch. Just instead of taking apart, if you can find a fuse or a relay, go to that relay. It's easier than taking apart the whole thing. Now let's say you want to find something. Let's say you have problems with the parking lamps. Which one would I go to? This is the systems approach of fuses. This is not the individual schematic. This is like a system a block diagram if you want. So therefore, this is the best way to go when you're looking for something, a system. Once you get down to the system, then you go to the schematic. So let's find what we're looking for. Park lamp relay. Hazard lamps, that has nothing to do with us. Start, has nothing to do. AB has nothing to do. Parking lamp, this one, fuse, 20 amps, has something to do without problem. So we're going to go through a connector, an orange wire. We're going to come through here, and we're going to see, okay, parking lamp relay. First place I should go after the fuse is to the relay. There is a relay involved. Pins 3 and pins 1. One is the control side, one is the load side. Therefore, when we start troubleshooting or looking for the parts, a good place to start is the relay, fuse. The relays, obviously you need those inserters. The best way to do it, like I showed you, to put wires in the terminals and measure those, like I'll show you in the future. In a couple of weeks I'll show you soon. So you go over here. How much should I have over here? If I have 12 volts over here, how much should I have at pin 3 and pin 1? How much should I have? 12 volts. How much should I have here? 12 volts. How much should I have over here? Now it doesn't tell us. The coil side, here's the coil. The coil should have 0 volts. Now who's going to give me the 0 volts? Either a physical ground or a computer ground. What about the other side, the coil side? The load side, the load side, the load side. The load side, how much should it have on the other one? 12 volts. Now, I have a problem with the headlamp. Well, we find the headlamp switch over here. So look at this. This switch, this fuse, connects to parking lamps and also the headlamps switch. So if I lose this fuse, it seems like I lose the parking lamps and I lose the headlamps. I will lose both of them. What's the switch pin number? It looks like pin 8 is that, a red wire. Now another thing, let's say I lost the parking lamps and the headlamps. What can also be? It can also be this wire over here. If I lose this wire, I lose him and I lose him. If I lose this wire, I can still have a path for the parking lamps, but not for the headlamps. Let's say now the blower motor. The blower motor is over here. Now, one is without electronic climate control, one is with electronic climate control. You find out for your vehicle which is which. So, if I don't have the blower motor, the fan motor working, which one will it be? HVAC fuse. How much should I have over here? I should have 12 volts. How much should I have over here at 87? 12 volts at 87. That means the other side will be terminal 86. I should have 12 volts. This one over here should be 8 volts. Going to pin 8 should be 12 volts also if you have electronic climate control. Now, if this is the load side, we'll have 12 volts. If this is the if this on the coil side, you'll have 12 volts and you have a ground on the other side. Basically, I don't want to get too technical. Basically, I'm just trying to teach you a way, a easier way of finding the fuses in a systems and the relays that you're looking for in a system instead of going to each individual schematic. That's the point of this whole video. So if you have an ABS problem, you go over here. What does it go to? Electronic brake control module. Abbreviated we know as EBCM. So therefore, you go over here. We should have 12 volts over here. Every fuse 12 volts after it if it's good. And then as you can see, with EBC, whatever that is, EBC 310, whatever that is over here, a connect. Either you're going to C2, if it has this, or you're going to connect to C3, which is A. C2 is B. If it's C3, it's A. When it has this, I guess, accessory or something or whatever it is, you have to look that one up. It's going to have 12 volts here, regardless. 12 volts, always, at the red one. So main point is find the fuse, find the system or the relay or the module that it's connected to. This is the easiest way to do it. These are all the fuses, like we went over. It's called the power distribution circuit. And it shows you a rough, almost like a flow chart, what it goes to. If I have problems with the backup lights, I'm going to go to this one, and I'm going to go to this fuse. So when you're looking for something and you're not sure what that fuse is going to, always come to this schematic. Usually there's like 2 or 5 or 6 pages of these. This will cut down your troubleshooting much easier. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.